Welcome back, beautiful soul, to another deeply reflective episode of Awaken Your Authentic Self. I'm Jessica, and I'm so grateful to be sharing this sacred space with you here today. I invite you to take a breath and just be here. Let this moment be yours. Today's episode is going to challenge you. It's going to gently pull back the layers of your current life and having you ask yourself a powerful question. Is this really your life, or has it been pre-programmed for you? We're diving into the subtle ways that society, family, culture, and even our ancestral lineage have shaped our thoughts, behaviors, and our choices. And more importantly, how can we come back to ourselves, to the truth, to the soul path that was always yours, buried underneath the noise? So let's journey together. Let's begin. Let's start by talking about what I mean by pre-programming. This isn't about computer chips or science fiction. Pre-programming is the invisible script we unconsciously follow every day. The script that has been written by others. It's the belief that we need to go to college, get that job, right? Get married, have kids, retire, in that exact order. It's the idea that our worth is tied to productivity. It's the roles we inherit. The role of the caretaker, the overachiever, the people pleaser. The roles that we didn't consciously choose for ourselves. Think of it like this. When we're born, we are a blank canvas, pure, untouched. Then the world starts painting on us with labels, their expectations, and worst of all, their fears. Over time, we forget what the original canvas even looked like. We forget that we came here to paint our own picture. Our awakening happens when we pause long enough to ask, is this belief really mine? Or did I absorb it? Was it instilled in me by others? The soul came here free. The ego came to survive. Awakening means remembering the essence beneath the ego, the divine design that you came to embody. So where does this programming actually come from? Let's begin with, of course, childhood and family. From the moment we are born, we are absorbing. We are absorbing our parents' fears, their values, and all of their unresolved trauma, all of it. And in some instances, even their unrealized dreams as well. If our parents were taught not to express emotions, we likely learned to suppress ours. If they valued achievement over rest, we learned to hustle for love. Sometimes the programming is subtle, like being praised for being, the good girl, the good boy. And sometimes it's really loud, like just being told directly, you'll never make money doing that. Now, if that isn't enough, let's add to that society and cultural influences. Mass media, which, my opinion, is fear-based, social media, school systems, religious institutions, all of these help to shape our view of what's acceptable, desirable, or even possible. We are told what beauty looks like. We are told what success looks like, and even what a normal life is supposed to look like. But who actually decided that? sometimes I think about this when it comes to like my work attire, right? Who decided or defined what business or casual should look like? My perspective is very different than theirs because if given the opportunity, I'd be boho savvy all day, every day, but I don't have that choice. Someone decided for me that there had to be a level of attire and gave it a title of importance. High heels don't make my brain function at a higher level. I'm just saying. But finally, let's add to this ancestral and past life influences. We carry emotional and energetic imprints from our bloodlines. Generational trauma is real. Perhaps your grandmother wasn't allowed to have a voice and speak her mind, and now you struggle with speaking your own truth. Perhaps in a past life, it ended with you being persecuted for your gifts, and now you just play small in order to stay safe. Remember, this didn't begin with you, but this trauma can end with you. So, what happens when we live a life that truly isn't ours? Well, we feel disconnected. We feel disconnected from ourselves, from purpose, from joy. We may sometimes look successful on the outside, but just feel very empty on the inside. We may achieve goals, yet feel like we're living someone else's dream. This is where burnout comes from. This is why people suffer from things like anxiety and depression, and they have identity crisis. You feel this way because your soul is whispering, this is not it. The price of a pre-programmed life is your aliveness. It is your soul. So, what are some signs that you are not living authentically? Let's do a quick check-in. Do any of these feel familiar to you? You feel like you are performing in your everyday life. You constantly are seeking validation or approval from others. You have success in your life, but you don't feel joy. You just feel empty. You don't know what it is that you truly want. Or you're afraid of disappointing people more than you're afraid of disappointing yourself. These are signs that your life may be running on programming and not on presence. And it's okay. Awareness is the first step. So, how do we break free from the script and reclaim our soul-led life? Step one is awareness. Start questioning your beliefs. Where did they come from? Who benefits from me believing that? Step two is do your inner child work. What did you love as a child? What did you love before the world told you who they thought you ought to be? Step three is sovereignty. Begin saying no to the things that do not align with your spirit. Set solid boundaries for yourself and respect yourself enough to stick to them, no matter the person or the situation. Listen to your body, and I can't say that one enough. Listen to your body. When you tune into yourself, it is very vocal in its needs. Step four would be through spiritual reconnection. That is meditation, journaling, divination, or prayer. Ask your higher self, what is truly mine? Step five, a soul ritual. Create a weekly ritual, a simple one. A simple one is like light a candle, And then ask, what did I do this week that lit me up? Then ask, what drained me of my energy? Then make the conscious decision to choose more of what feeds your light. Now, here are some tools that you can use to support you in the deprogramming process. Now, if you enjoy journaling, and I've shared, I like writing, but I don't like journaling. I don't know what that's about. I have to look into that. But if you enjoy journaling, you can use daily journaling prompts like, and I'll give you a second. What in my life am I doing out of obligation? Where in my life do I feel inauthentic? What would my 8-year-old self want me to remember? Now, another tool you can use is mirror work. Mirror work is you stand in front of the biggest mirror you have and you look into your own eyes. And it's as simple as saying, I see you. I love you. I choose you. And just keep repeating that until you feel it in your heart chakra. You can also try nature grounding. In last week's episode, we discussed the importance of grounding and the many different rituals, such as sitting under a tree, walking barefoot in grass or sand, just sitting in nature and listening, because the earth, she loves to help us remember who we are. You can try energy clearing. That's another helpful way to support you, using tools such as breath work, Reiki, saging regularly, or using sound therapy to help you cut cords from what no longer serves you and your highest self. I personally love my sound bowls. I love the sound of them. They're very soothing. And most importantly, guys, use your soul counsel. We all have them. Call on your ancestors, call on your spirit guides, your higher self. Ask them for help releasing what was never yours. Now, let's dive deeper into a subject that many of us carry without even knowing, and that's generational cycles or generational curses, as they've also been known by. These are the inherited beliefs, the wounds, and the coping mechanisms that have been passed down through our family lines. Sometimes what feels like our fear or our limitation was actually never ours to begin with. It's probably something you're really, really good at. But maybe it was your grandfather's scarcity mindset, or maybe your mother's belief that her self-worth came only from being in service to others. These are not just emotional patterns. They are energetic contracts that our soul came here to break. So, how do we break them? Right? Sounds easy, but how do we do it? First, you have to recognize them. And the best place is to start with, write down common family sayings or beliefs you grew up hearing, right? Like money doesn't grow on trees, or what's always a good one. But question each one, is this still true for me? If not, either why are you repeating it, or why are you, either out loud or to yourself? Why do you feel this way? Next, choose a new belief that better aligns with your spirit. You are allowed to rewrite your story. You are the author now. Once you have awareness, you are the author. And lastly, practice compassion. Healing family lines is very tender work. Honor the pain that they carried, but then honor your power to do it differently. So we talk about wanting to reprogram, right? This subconscious mind. So reclaiming your life isn't just about letting go. It's about reprogramming. The subconscious mind is like fertile soil. Because if you don't reprogram and you just try to let go, that's why you repeat cycles. That's why things don't go away. That's why you want to quit something and you can't stop. You have to work on the subconscious mind. Fertile soil. And whatever you plant there will grow. Negative habits did not come from anywhere. They came from repeating the behavior. Positive habits are the same way. Learn to repeat the behavior and it will become the new norm. Much of our subconscious programming is formed between the ages of 0 and 7. That is why doing your inner child work is so powerful, because it forces you to have to go back to the roots of your story. Because the beautiful thing is, once we uncover the weeds, we get to replant truth. So here are some helpful ways to help you reprogram yourself. One, and I say this over and over and over and over and over and over again, I truly believe in the power of affirmations, especially right before bed and just upon waking. My favorite way, and this works best if you sleep alone or if you have a partner and they're on the same healing journey and they want to hear this with you, then you can, But I would play the 8-hour black screen affirmations that I would find on YouTube that kind of just resonated with where I was in my journey. When I was trying to find confidence in myself, when I was trying to find my self-worth, when I was trying to reclaim that power, the affirmations were I am affirmations. I am strong. I am powerful. I am loved. Worked on my root chakra. From there, I went to my heart chakra. I feel loved. I feel confident. I feel strength. I feel. But I kept them on low enough that I could barely hear it, but I could hear it. But the important part was knowing that once I fell asleep, my subconscious mind would hear it. They seriously were an integral part of my early awakening. You can also try hypnotherapy or subconscious meditations. Visualization works, where you can actually see and feel yourself living differently. Kind of backdoor trick the mind into feeling that reality, thus making it yours using the power of attraction. Then there's somatic healing. Somatic therapy operates off the idea that what happens to you in your life is stored not only in your mind, but also in your body. By focusing on both the physical sensations in your body and the discussion of your problems, this reconnects the body with safety and truth. But the only way that any of this is going to work is through consistency. Consistency is the key. You can't do it one night and then not think about it again for a week. It's not going to work. Consistency is key. Speak new truths into yourself daily until your system believes them again. And trust me, it will believe them again, and it will help to bring you home. So how do we live, right? Once we're working on the getting rid of the pre-programmed stuff, how do we live a deprogrammed life in the real world? Because living authentically, it sounds beautiful, right? But what does it really look like in real life? It looks like saying no to the party you never really wanted to attend. It looks like leaving a job that drains your soul when you know that there's something else that you want to do. It looks like letting people misunderstand you. Not everyone is meant for you, and that's okay, because you know that you won't abandon yourself anymore. And I know that sometimes it is also going to look a little like fear, because making the conscious decision to choose yourself in a world that teaches conformity is revolutionary. But now know that every time you choose authenticity over outside approval, you come home to yourself every time. That's why and what this work is all about. It's not about perfection. It's not about escapism, but presence and power. Now let's take a moment to talk about the nervous system and how it plays a role. Your nervous system, it is not just a physical system in our physical body. It is the command center for how we respond to life. When we have been conditioned or traumatized, our nervous system is the one that is left holding on to that memory. If your body is always in fight or flight mode, that's not just stress, that's programming. Your system has learned that the world is not a safe place, that you must earn love, that silence is safety. Rewiring your nervous system means bringing it in safety, not through logic, but through the body. You can use practices for grounded breathing, somatic tracking, cold exposure, safe touch, and movement. When you teach it that you are safe to be seen, to be different, to speak truth, the rest of your transformation becomes sustainable. Now, sometimes the most radical act that you can do for yourself is to pause. Just stop doing. Stop fixing. And simply just be. We live in a culture of constant noise. The programming, it thrives in distraction. The real you can only be found in the silence. Create a sacred pause in your life. This is very simple. This could look something like taking 5 minutes for yourself in the morning and 10 minutes before you go to bed. Having a weekly screen-free day. Setting aside some time for yourself to just be alone in nature. In those moments, you will begin to hear the quiet voice of your soul again. The voice that was always there beneath all that programming. Now ask yourself, who am I when I'm not trying to be anything? That is the version of you came here to live. So there is a quantum perspective on this. So we're going to get a little metaphysical right now. From a quantum perspective, reality is not fixed. It is fluid. It responds to observation, it responds to intention, and it responds to energy. That means we are not just breaking programming. We are reselecting timelines, choosing the version of reality that aligns with our authentic vibrations. This isn't spiritual bypassing, it's spiritual authorship. It's knowing that every aligned action, every choice to speak your truth, ripples across dimensions. Think about this. What if your authentic life already exists? And the only job that you have to do is simply get yourself to align with it. So here's a little reflection prompt for you. And if you need a moment to grab a pen and paper, please pause and return when you're ready. Okay. The first is, what version of me am I choosing today? What version of me am I choosing today? The second prompt is, what reality am I currently saying yes to with my energy, attention, and emotion? I'll repeat that. What reality am I currently saying yes to with my energy, attention, and emotion? All right, I'd like you to take a deep breath at this moment. Let it out slowly. Know that you are not broken. You are in the process of awakening. You are peeling back layers that were never yours. You are remembering who it is that you've always been. You're not here to follow the rules. You are here to embody the truth. So let's seal today's episode with some soul-affirming truths. And I'd like you to repeat after me. I reclaim my voice and my path. I release beliefs that are not mine. I honor the truth of who I am. I trust my soul's guidance. I am free to live my own life. Now let's anchor that remembrance that you are not here by accident. You are not here to perform. You are here to awaken. No more shrinking. No more scripts. No more spiritual amnesia. Let this be the day you return to your original design, your sacred blueprint, and remember that you are not alone. Every time you awaken a part of yourself, you help awaken the collective. Thank you for sharing your time and energy with me today. Until next time, stay rooted, stay sovereign, Stay open and anchored to the truth that has always lived within you. And lastly, keep awakening your authentic self.